The Recycled Recycling Centers project in Chichica, Panama was developed in partnership with the United States Peace Corps and Unidos Mejorando el Ambiente de Chichica, or UMAC, the environmental group in Chichica. Chichica is a rural, indigenous community set in the mountains of Panama. It, much like thousands of other communities in Panama, has a problem with trash. The problem relates to the lack of infrastructure and support from the local and federal governments. The plan, that has now been accomplished, was to construct 3 recycling centers in 3 major population centers of the community. These recycling centers would be constructed, in part, with used plastic soda bottles. The center would be comprised of an area of trash collection with 6 separate bins and educational signage to help the understanding of recycling and decomposition rates of trash. It would also have a storage room for when the recycling bins fill up and the recyclable materials need to be moved and stored. Finally, as part of the overall plan, when the storage room of the 3 centers are filled up, an outside recycling company would come into Chica and buy the materials. This in turn would bring a profit to the environmental group for further investment related to environmental conservation in the community and clean up the community as a whole. We helped to construct 3 recycling centers throughout the community using around 5,000 plastic bottles in each center, 15,000 bottles in total. These centers will help in reducing the amount of recyclable trash thrown out and burned in the community, creating a safer and cleaner environment. Each center has educational signage that will help in teaching the community about the decomposition time of recyclable materials and the consequences of throwing trash on the ground for future generations. Lastly, the storage room attached to the centers will be used to store full bags of recyclable materials that will then be sold to outside recycling companies at a profit for the Chichica Environmental Group, UMAC. By simply building the recycled recycling centers, we have helped to reduce the amount of plastic bottles burned within the community. We have also, hopefully, inspired the next generation to think critically and creatively about the problems facing Chichica. Throughout this project, we helped to form an environmental group that oversees the trash management system in the community called Unidos Mejorando el Ambiente de Chichica, or UMAC. We trained them in basic group communication techniques, problem-solving techniques, project management, and in the creation of trash incinerators to eventually be used in the community and the schools to more safely burn their trash. The project proved to be a great success in bringing different members of the community, teachers from the elementary and high schools, and many young people together to accomplish something to benefit the community as a team. 60 adults and 116 kids helped in the construction of the recycled recycling centers and learned new, sustainable, conservation-based construction techniques to hopefully be recreated in smaller projects throughout the community. These projects could include latrines, showers, and chicken coops. We taught half of the adults in Chichica and 400 plus students about proper waste management techniques, the dangers of improperly burning trash, and the correct classification of recyclable materials. Through competitions in the school and other collection programs, the community collected over 15,000 bottles to be used in the construction of the recycling centers. In total, the construction process took about 4 months, with many months of logistics and planning before that. The centers were built by the residents of the neighborhood, with some special help given by skilled craftsmen from other neighborhoods as well. For each center, the property had to first be approved by the mayor, then the ground leveled. After that, a team would dig out the foundation trench, place a cement foundation, lay a few layers of bricks, then build the roof and pour the floor. All of this before anything could begin with the bottle walls. Here you can hear the sounds and see the techniques of preparing the bottles to be placed into the bottle walls. For all the bottles, first the wrapping must be taken off the outside, the bottles then must be cut, then the base placed inside the bottle itself. Most of this work was done by children and mothers using kitchen knives. "90 trash cans are now placed throughout the entire expanse of the community, including the 18 cans in the centers themselves that have already aided in creating a cleaner community. This in turn may open doors for the community in international tourism, outside investment, and many more other possibilities to bring prosperity to this small community." 35 educational signs are now posted throughout the community, made from discarded tops of the 55-gallon drums developed by the people of Chichica and translated into English, Spanish, and the indigenous language of Novere. These signs will help in promoting better conservation practices in the community and to remind the community of the lofty goal they set in cleaning up Chichica and the surrounding region. Through this project, we have been helped by countless individuals from the U.S., the group UMAC, the people of Chichica, the Ministry of the Environment, the Ministry of Health, the Mayor of the District, the principals of the elementary and high schools, Otema Technological University in David, and Fertique in David, just to name a few. The project was funded in part by the PCPP grant program through the Peace Corps and funds raised by UMAC. Thank you to everyone who has helped support this project.